All right, everybody, welcome back. Good morning. It is time for some Pass Rush Friday. And this week, we've actually got some real stuff to talk about. We've got some real pass rush numbers on the board, and PFR was very nice to us this week. So we've got some positive things. I mean, you watch that game against Washington, I think you guys can see that we did a pretty good job getting to Sam Howell. We just couldn't necessarily get him down every time, but there was definitely pressure being generated. And at the end of the day, while it didn't work in that game necessarily, it's understood by, I think, most people that if you get consistent pressure on an opposing quarterback, it's eventually going to force him to make mistakes he otherwise wouldn't make. It may not happen every game, but if you get the pressure, the good stuff happens. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we got from the defensive line. Pretty good. Now, Draymond Jones played most of his snaps as an edge rusher. I'm going to leave him here now, though, just because there's no need. I think we all understand that he's going to become a more versatily used player. So he's going to be going back and forth, but he had two pressures in this game. Jaron Reed had two as well, and Leonard Williams also had two. Mario Edwards did not have any. He didn't play all that much. He's been quiet lately, to be honest. But I think that Mario Edwards is Mario Edwards, and maybe we were expecting a little too much from him. And we've really kind of settled ourselves into Mario Edwards just kind of taking up whatever's left over from the Jones, Reed, and Williams snaps, rather than him really being a steady part of the rotation. So he doesn't get that many opportunities. So I understand it. But yeah, Jones, Reed, and Leonard Williams all getting two pressures in this game, really good. Six pressures from your defensive line when your defensive line is this thin is going to get it done most weeks. So welcome Leonard Williams. He had a really good game, by the way. I thought Leonard Williams played great. Linebackers, we got more stuff here as well. Bobby Wagner picked up two pressures, including a half sack. So he's on his way. It's coming in spurts. It's a little sporadic, but it is coming with Bobby Wagner. So he's up to four on the season. So I said seven. He's on pace to more or less get there. Nothing from Jordan Brooks for the last 2 weeks now, which, I mean, I know he's still blitzing a little bit here and there, but I don't want to get away from the fact that it seems like we found something this year with Brooks. Seems like he has some success on the blitz. So don't forget to send him. I know Wagner's a good blitzer as well, and it worked in this game, but don't forget to put Brooks on the blitz. All right, so now we get to the edge room, and this is where the fun really kicks off. The edge crop did really good getting after the quarterback. Again, it was one of those things where we would get pressure, and then Sam Howell would do a really good job escaping the pressure and still making a play, or at least not making a big negative play. So I think we have to give Howell some credit for the way he was able to handle the pressure. But when we get to the end of this video, you're going to look at the total number of pressures and feel like, man, 3 sacks is disappointing. And I think you're right. But so credit to Sam Howell. He was kind of doing what Andy Dalton did in week 3 to us, I think. A lot of pressure, and he handled it well. But Boye Mafe, great game. 3 QB pressures on Howell, including the sack. I'm pretty sure he also had the pressure on the play where Howell threw the touchdown to Gibson, where Mafe hits his arm. Like, if you're Mafe, you can't do that much more than that. You really can't. So, good on Howell for hitting that one. But Mafe is on pace to destroy my preseason projection. Obviously, it's easier now because Nwosu's out. But regardless, if he does it, he does it. So, Mafe continues to come along like a screaming bolt, just absolutely destroying. He might even be going beyond his best case scenario as a college player, because I loved him, but I didn't think he was going to become some 15 sack a year guy. But that's the path we're on right now, it feels like. Daryl Taylor actually had 3 pressures in this game as well. He didn't get any sacks, and obviously there will always be issues with Daryl Taylor as a football player, but this was probably his most impactful game of the year with those 3 pressures, even though, again, Howell handled it well. Howell handling it well does not change the fact that Daryl Taylor was at least disruptive, so I can give credit where credit's due. Derek Hall has not had a QB pressure on PFR's charts for 5 straight games. And it's not like he's not playing. He's not playing a ton, but he should be playing enough to do a little bit. I know he's hurt right now, so I'm not really getting on him for this most recent game. But I will say it's a little disappointing that Derek Hall can't take advantage of this opportunity a little bit. Um, I know that he also played really badly against Baltimore with all the missed tackles. So to a certain extent, he's probably in the doghouse, a pseudo doghouse, understanding that he's a rookie and they don't want to overextend him. But we need Hall to step up a little bit here because Nwosu's he's not coming back. So Derek Hall being able to give us at least something close to what Mafe gave us last year is kind of imperative. And Frank Clark actually did pick up a QB pressure according to PFR in this game. I'm still very concerned about leaning on him going forward. I'm still very much looking at him and thinking, is there anything left in that tank? Because the first 3 games of his Seahawks tenure are making me think no. But he did get credited with the pressure, so good for him. So the edge crop, 7 QB pressures in 1 game. That's very close to what they did against the Giants. And again, they're doing this without their, in theory, best player. So awesome stuff from those guys. And if they can keep it up, we might be able to survive this. Cornerback, nothing with the cornerbacks. I didn't see a lot of cornerback blitzing. I think Woolen may have blitzed once. Witherspoon faked a blitz and it almost worked beautifully, but well, I mean, in a sense, it did work because he forced an incomplete pass, but not a lot of cornerback blitzing in this game that I saw. Safeties, Jamal Adams. The good news, 2 pressures. The bad news is he should have had at least 1 sack and he blew it. And honestly, I think the other pressure, you can at least argue that he had a chance at a sack and didn't cash in. So, I mean, it's good to see him making an impact as a blitzer, which is something that has been a little bit of a letdown the last few games. But at the same time, if you have the opportunity to get an easy sack, you got to do it. That's a different game if Jamal handles his business on that first drive. That's a different game. That might be an easy win rather than a grinded out nail biter win. But regardless, 2 pressures makes 17. Wow, really good. I mean, this is better than any game so far this year except for the Giants game. And it puts us back on pace to definitely get to my goal of 10 QB pressures a game. That's the goal, and if we keep this up, we're going to get there. Now, obviously, I don't think Washington, well, I'll put it to you this way. Something Washington is doing is leading to Sam Howell getting harassed in the backfield constantly. He's on pace to get sacked as much as David Carr used to get sacked back in the day. And there's just, honestly, in some ways, by getting only 3 sacks against Washington, that's underachieving. But if we keep up the level of play from Sunday's game, I think we're going to be fine. All right, I'll see you guys later. Go Hawks. Pass Rush Friday was good this week. We got to Sam Howell, just didn't quite bring him down as much as we would have liked. And this is a step in the right direction for sure. A much needed one. All right, catch you guys later on today. More videos coming. Happy Friday.